All right, let's go ahead and get started. Get you back to my main screen. All right, so we start with our number talk. So we have our cards, and let's flip to a new one today. All right, remember I show you the card. I want you to think about the different things you see, and then we'll talk about it. There is no wrong answer. I just want you to look at the card. All right, now let's start recording some of those thoughts. What do we see? Put that up there. You guys can't see it from there. All right. Who would like to share? Clara?
I see a double, 3 plus 3.
All right, she sees 3 plus 3. All right, what else do we see? Allison?
6 plus 3.
All right, so she sees 6 plus 3. Anybody else like to share? All right, but here?
I see a double.
All right, what double? Tell us the numbers.
3, 3.
You see 3 and 3. All right, thank you. But here, Kelton, did you want to share?
I see. I just did it, but I forgot. It was the number.
Okay.
I'll try to do it on my finger.
Yes, you don't have to solve for anything. It's not a math problem. We're just looking at the different patterns we see. All right, so some of us might see different patterns, like you said, for example, some of you see 3 and 3 or 6 and 3. I see a group of 6, 1, and then 2. So 6, 1, and 2. All right, if we turn the card this way, we could see different numbers. We could see 2, 1, and 3 and 3. A lot of you see that number 6 right there, 3 and 3 more. And that's great because you are identifying those doubles we just talked about. All right, so let's go ahead and do some math with a number. So today we'll use a 10. All right, let's talk about some different ways we can use 10. Who can share? All right, but here?
5 plus 4.
Awesome. He says 5 plus 5 more, which is great. We know that that's a double. That's the one we go to often. All right, what's another way we could make a 10? Allison?
4 plus 6.
All right, let's try that. Let's do 4 blue and all right, 4 plus 6 more equals 10. All right, let's do one more option. What's another way we could make 10? All right, Kelton?
10 plus 3.
10 plus 3. We only want to get to 10. That's our whole number.
I said 7 plus.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, 7 plus 3. All right, so let's move one of these over. Now we have your 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. We have 3 plus 7 equals 10 also. Okay, now let's use our number bond to show one more way we can make 10. All right, Clara?
10 plus 0.
10 plus 0. All right, well, let's fill in our tens frame with 10. All right, so I have 5 blue, because I know 5 goes right here on the top, and now we got to put in 5 more blue. Awesome. We have 10 plus 0 does equal 10. All right, so we can add using different numbers to get to the same number, right? These are called number partners or number pairs that we talked about yesterday. So let's go ahead and review some of yesterday. All right. So we talked about having a domino, okay? What number do we see on this domino? You did this in your workbook yesterday, so we're going to just review. All right, what number do we see, Kelton?
2.
We see 2 and 2 and 2. All right, so we see a total of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 dominoes. Okay, and Kelton gave us our first question that we see 2 and 2. So you might have remembered that from your work yesterday if you filled in your practice page. Oh, nope, you actually had 4 and 4. Now we have 2 and 2. So what's another way we could write 4? Are there any other ways we can write 4? What are some number partners to equal 4? All right, Taylor? Go ahead. 3 and what? 1. Awesome job, Taylor. 3 and 1 makes 4. And we can do another one. What's one more way to make 4? All right, but here? Go ahead. 4 and 0. Awesome. All right. Now we also talked that if we flipped these around, it would still be the same numbers. Okay. It doesn't matter which order that they come in. When we're adding them together to get to 4, they will still equal the same thing. All right. So right now I want you to get out your workbook. We're going to turn to page 57. So go ahead and get that workbook out, page 57. Yes, Taylor. It's not in your bag of things? Okay, maybe you left it at home. Well, you could probably just use your math mat and practice these with us and then fill the answers in later. All right, so our first question on page 57. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. All right, we got everybody. So let's look at our question. It says Deanna makes 1 quilt square. Then she makes 5 more. Sorry, hang on, I had to mute somebody, that way you guys could see it. How many does she make? So I want to underline the important information, the question, what are we trying to find out? Okay, so who can tell me what the question was? Our sentence with the question mark. I don't want the answer yet. We want to underline the important information together. All right, but here,
The books.
how many does she make? I realized I spelled this word wrong. Does she make? That's our question. All right, what was she making? Some of you might know this. It's a blanket called a quilt. Okay, she's making a quilt using squares. So let's underline. Make sure you did that on your paper. Your question's up at the top. I just had mine written down so you guys could see it a little bit bigger. We underlined the question. How many does she make? What is she making? And we underlined a quilt. She's making quilt squares, where you put the squares and you sew them together. All right, how many did she make? What's our first number? Who can share that first number in our story problem? Clara? 1. She makes 1 quilt square. Great, so make sure you find the number 1 and circle it. Taylor, you can probably just be writing this down, 1. All right, then she makes how many more? How many more does she make, Kelton?
5.
5 more. Go ahead and circle and underline that. That is a key word, more. So that means we're going to be adding. All right, so down here in your empty space, I want you to take a minute and either show me how you would solve that question, and then we're going to share. All right, so you can use a picture, you can use a number sentence. How would you solve this question? We just found the important information. Hopefully you're writing it down in all that empty space you have right there. All right, we're going to have, I see Vedheer's already finished his. Vedheer, go ahead and share the way that you yes. All right, Vedheer, I'm going to take you off mute. Can you share with the class how you found that or what you used?
I used for my brain.
Okay, what did you do? Because everybody couldn't see it. Can you tell me what you wrote down in your space?
I wrote 1 plus 5 and then equals 6.
Awesome. So he used numbers and he said 1 plus 5 equals 6. Great job. Did anybody use something different? Maybe you drew a picture. Could you explain your picture to us? We got a couple people that are losing a little bit of internet service. All right, Kelton, you ready to share? Did you draw a picture?
I don't really know how to write a 6 that much, so I just wrote 5 with 6.
I can't see it really. You need to move the book over the other way.
Yeah, it's kind of trouble.
Okay. All right. So you did a number sentence as well, it looked like. Okay. Did anybody draw a picture to show? Allison, what did your picture look like? Can you explain in words?
I drew one square and 5 circles.
Awesome. So she had one square, and to tell the difference between the numbers, she added circles. That's a good idea. Switching the different picture types. 1 plus 5 more. All right. Dylan, go ahead and share. Dylan? You don't have any volume. Is the volume on your device? I can't hear anything. All right, try to fix that device and then maybe you can share later. Okay, so maybe your volume is turned off like me the other day. I had my computer on mute. All right, so let's go ahead and flip to our next page. Great job. And you will see an example. So when you flip the page over, we have page 58. Now we see some cubes. Amonte, do you have your math book? No, you can't find yours either? We got to make sure we have all our supplies near us when we get on these live meetings so we can participate. All right, so it's the same question, and they modeled it using cubes. All right, so you should see one red. Hang on, let me get a different color. They showed us two different ways to write that question, right? They showed us 1 plus 4 more. I'm sorry, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that still equals 6. Then what's another way they showed us? Clara?
Well, I wrote it down there, which is
What does our picture show us on our workbook?
what picture?
Are you on your workbook right here? What do the cubes show us?
I'm not on it. I'm still on this one.
Oh, that's right, because you had a little bit of internet problem and your video went down for a minute. Okay, we moved on to the next page. If you flip it over to this page, there you go. We're talking about 2 different ways to show our problem, right? We had 1 plus 5 equals 6, and now we have 5
It equals the same thing.
plus 1, which still equals 6. That's right. We did not change anything. We didn't change any of the numbers. We didn't add any more cubes. We just flip-flopped our numbers. So that's telling us that 1 plus 5 and 5 plus 1 is the same thing, right? That's a number pair or number partner. Okay, they tell us the same information. So go ahead and turn the page to page 59. Well, you guys don't have to turn because yours is in a book form. I'm sorry. On the other side, you guys see some cubes down at the bottom. Go ahead and fill in the blanks right there to solve. as I read the sentence to you. Great job, Ed here. He already finished. It says, Hero makes 1 bracelet, then he makes 6 more. How many does he make? All right, so Hero had purple and orange bracelets. All right, let's go ahead and show that example here. Oh, I left the purple. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1 purple. So we had 1 plus 6. And then we also had 6 plus 1. And I'm not going to draw the other picture. Who can tell us what the answer is for both of these? It is going to be the same because we are using our number pairs. All right, but here? 7. Awesome. We know that 1 plus 6 equals 7. So that means 6 plus 1 is also going to equal 7. All right, now you guys turn your page and you'll be looking at a number bond up at the top. Number 4 is our number bond. All right, we have 2 and 5. And 7. How could we write this in 2 different equations? How could we make 2 number sentences? What plus what equals what? All right, what's one way we could show this over here using our same numbers? Just like we did with our picture up here, now we have a number bond and we want to represent it in number sentences.
5 plus 2.
Anybody ready to share? Jason, are you ready to share? Go ahead. What was your hand up for?
I missed some of the meeting because our Wi-Fi was lagging.
Okay. All right, Vedheer's ready to share? Go ahead, Vedheer. What's one way we can write 2, 5, and 7?
5 plus 2.
Awesome. 5 plus 2 equals 7. What's another way we could use that in a number sentence? Let's see if anybody else can help us out. Another way to write those numbers. Allison?
6 plus 1.
Okay, that does show us 7. I should have drawn a line, okay? This is a whole new problem, okay? We want to use 2, 5, and 7. So if we already wrote 5 plus 2, what can we write next? We want to flip that.
2 plus 5.
There you go. 2 plus 5. And that still equals 7. So we can write 2 number sentences with the same problem. All right. We don't want to switch our numbers out unless... So let's look at our next question. You guys get to color in or just shade with your pencil if you need to. Number 5 says, color the blocks to show 2 ways to add 7 plus 1. Okay, right there at the bottom, right above your marbles. Okay, you're coloring in just like we did up here with our 1 plus 6. But now we have a new question. So how many are we going to shade in? All right. Let's see, we already have some people who finished shading in their numbers. Great job. Let's see, I'm going to draw it so that way I can illustrate for everybody what you guys tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull that up just a little bit. All right, what's one way we could have drawn this picture? Kelton?
I didn't know what page y'all were.
We're on that next page, page 60 with the marbles, and you're coloring in your cubes right there. All right, Clara, go ahead.
1 purple and 6 pink.
All right, so she did 1 and 7. So she should have colored in all of these 7. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's showing us 1 plus 7. Okay, now underneath we should have done the opposite, right? So Allison, go ahead and share what you did.
1 pink and 6 purple.
All right, so she did. We're trying to show 7 plus 1. Okay, so that means I got to color in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1.
Miss Rose,
Yes, Jason.
what page is it on?
We're on page 60. Lesson 3.
Yes.
All right, now we just worked on those together. Okay, hopefully, I know some of you were having issues, so you'll go through and practice on your own this page, the green pages. So these green pages are your practice pages. You have page 61. Okay, you'll work on page 61 and 62 on the back. Okay, these problems are similar to what we just did. Okay, you get to solve with your number bond. Okay, I want to remind you when you're using your number bond, okay, let's say we have 5 and 3 equals 8. Hang on, Taylor, I'll get your question in a minute. Now, we're only using these 3 numbers to give us 2 number sentences. Okay, so I want to use 5 and 3. So we can say 5 plus 3 equals 8. And 3 plus 5 equals 8. Okay, we're working on just flipping those 2 numbers. All right, because in your first 2 questions, you're using those number bonds. Remember, you're only using these numbers right here. All right, now I'm going to post this live video in our Nearpod with some extra questions. If you had no problem, then don't worry about completing the Nearpod, okay, because we just completed the same pages in our workbook that will be on the Nearpod. All right, so all you need to finish for today is your practice page, that green practice page, front and back. Okay, there's 5 questions. And then move on to your social studies and your science this afternoon. Okay, I'm meeting with 3 of you for some meetings. Okay, make sure you guys show up on time. And today, who did their iReady reading yesterday? Did anybody do their iReady reading? All right, if you got all 30 minutes done yesterday, great job. Now you can move on to math. And you can do your 30 minutes of math. All right, that's all we have for today. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning on the buzz at 8:05. All right, I'll take some questions.